Welcome, my darlings, to our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle ATL by Night, Chapter 4, Road Rage. Let's meet our vampires.
I am Brittany Trambauer playing Melisende.
Hi, I'm Tyler Sutherland, and I'm playing Aaron.
I'm Leona Rohr, and I'm playing Thomasina Elena Cuesta.
Zachary Vaudo, playing Anton Krovopuskov.
Dustin Fletcher, and I am playing Cyrus.
And I'm your storyteller, Ellie Collins. So, what do you say we get into it, and let's tell a vampire story. When last we saw our coterie, Aaron had discovered a book on the lake shore of Lake Lanier near the Gangrel compound, and upon investigating it, found a missing persons case from 20 years ago for a Cecily Buisse. There was a phone number attached to the case that Aaron decided to call, and that number led to the phone of the Primogen of the Nosferatu, Dot Matrix. Aaron got in considerable trouble with his own Primogen, Denise, who now has worked with Dot to get them to meet with the Nosferatu and accept any punishment that Dot sees fit. So for the coterie, you all have received a text message giving you a place and a time of 1 a.m. at the 5 Points MARTA station.
I'm just walking there, taking the art center station down to 5 Points.
Okay.
Driving the Prius as per usual.
I'm driving there as fast as I can.
All right.
I'm having Philip drive me, but I have him stop me a couple blocks ahead because he and I just aren't getting along tonight. We're just not.
Okay. All right, so as you all get up to the MARTA station, there's a figure standing outside, tall, slender build, long hoodie pulled over his head. Kind of makes it hard to determine his features. And the station behind him is dark, empty. It's probably about 30 minutes past when the train stopped running, so the normally bustling station has become a ghost town. And as you approach, he waves you over. You the shepherds?
Have you been?
Hey, man.
Yeah. Good to see you. Circumstances notwithstanding.
Yeah. Hey, everyone, name's Das. Come on, let's go.
And as we walk, I'll group up with them and just ask. Low, but Das probably hears me. He knows what I say anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Quick poll. Who interacts with Nosferatu on a regular basis? And knows the Primogen?
I have a relationship with Dot.
In person?
In person.
Okay. The rest, your other two, don't stare. He's rude. If you want to be very respectful, she not Dot, Big Mama. It's a southern thing. Don't stare again. And general best behavior.
Now, is this respectful the same way that bowing and curtsying was respectful back in Olivia's house?
No, it's not near as highfalutin as that. Just,
okay.
She asks a question, you answer question. No working around things. She knows.
Do you want me to go in first, so that way I take the first stake through the heart?
No. I think Mel or I or both can go through. We know her. Okay. God or devil willing, it will soften blow. Probably not.
Das says, come on. And he leads you guys down into the station.
I'll just clap Das on the shoulders, all friendly like.
He just turns his head. He taps a card to the turnstiles and the gate goes open and holds open. He just kind of gestures for you all to go through.
Go on through. I know the score already.
Yeah, and as you guys go through, he taps his key card again and the gate's shut. He leads you down, and what is waiting for you at the bottom is a single train car, only the engine. It's a front car, looks probably many, many years past its prime. The logos and decals have long since worn off and faded. The windows have been blackened out completely with more than a few coats of paint. And one set of doors is open, and he hops right in, heading into the driver's seat.
Right, come on. This is the midnight meat train.
It's gonna be okay.
Yep.
It's okay.
It's going to be okay. I guarantee you, if it were not going to be okay, we would not have meeting. This would already be handled.
It would have just been you.
Yeah.
By yourself.
No, it would have been all of us, but it would have been handled very quickly.
Well, either way, I am sorry that you have to go through this with me.
It's all right. It's all right. We all helped. In some way or form, we all advise. You do the advice. We take the brunt, and then we keep going.
Okay.
All right, and so once you're all in the train, he closes the doors, and it takes off. Due to the windows, you have no idea where you're going, how long it's been. But at about 15 to 20 minutes, the car just abruptly stops, lurching you all forward.
You've already grabbed on.
And the door opens to show a single access door inside a tunnel of the subway. He goes... Das kind of comes out and swings around the door and goes, come on, time's ticking.
I'm already out. I'm already waiting.
All right, so you all head out?
Yes.
Follow obediently.
Click and clack.
All right, so you guys are heading into the door.
Once it opened for me.
It opens.
Yeah. Welcome to Xanadu. Just walk right in.
All right. And so as you guys head in and down a few flights of stairs, through long corridors, there's overpowering smells of mold, stale water, rust. You reach another door, a large steel door. Das hits the wall, popping out a little keypad, and types a ridiculously long passcode. And then pops the keypad back in, door unlocks, and he lets you all inside.
And right before the door opens, I say one more time, and remember, don't stare. And then in.
So as you guys enter, for those of you who have not been here, inside is a large, open room with a housing setup that looks like something out of Mad Max. Old train cars are scattered about, some stacked upon each other. This looks almost like a graveyard for trains. But as you look at them, you see little mailboxes, porches, some even have flowers out front. These are homes, and there's quite a lot of them. A few Nosferatu are out and about, but they're watching you very carefully. They know you're in trouble, and some of them seem pretty amused by it. As you're led to a set of trains stacked precariously, you go through to see that they've been stacked to provide a large courtyard. And in the middle, there's Dot, leader of the Nosferatu. Her body is gaunt and tall with unnaturally sharp cheekbones and a clean, bald head. Along her hair are lines that look like marbles beneath the layer of skin. She has a variety of piercings with decorative chains linking them all together, going from various parts of her face, some normally pierced, some are a bit of an avant-garde idea. She's draped in loose, long pieces of silk that you could barely call a dress for all the skin it exposes. And on the exposed skin, you see even further piercings, tattoos, and body modifications, distorting her appearance into something grotesque and beautiful. And sitting next to her is Cyrus. The little troublemakers. Which one of you is the one that called me?
That was me.
Good boy. Your luck is impeccable, I must say. You see, I keep my list of numbers in rotation. Have for probably longer than most of you have even been in this life. Some belong to us, some belong to organizations. You happen to catch this number active, and so with that stroke of luck, you've won the prize. And she stands and she walks closer to you all, says, since you all agreed to find the lost child, you're just so lucky. I've decided you're ready for a more challenging case. And she turns away from you all to go and sit down and look at a small manila folder in front of her, flipping through it. Sarah Starkman. Last known location, Six Flags. After hours, of course. I have notes here about her, but honestly, I think I want to see how you all handle it with no information. And she gestures to you, Cyrus, to walk over to them. Says, and Cyrus here is going to be going with you. I hired him to bring his level of expertise to the situation. Since we don't have a real proper sheriff as far as I'm concerned, I think this needs a more authoritative approach, potentially. So now, go! Run along. Enjoy yourself a roller coaster or two. I expect results in at least 2 days.
Good to see you, Big Mama. And I'll just take a step back.
I'll just go ahead and turn around. I won't say anything.
I stoically and respectfully nod my head to her as though I am acknowledging her. But I also know that I am also culpable in what happened, and I would not like to say anything out of order, so.
Do you want the number? You're good at cleaning up messes, but I can help snip this in the bud if you want.
I already cleaned the number. It's gone.
Okay.
And so as you guys all turn to leave, she goes, oh, and as for Cecily. She turns and she gestures to a small woman standing off on the side with a black hoodie on, with a print of a Japanese emoticon for a cat on it. And her head is covered in tattoos that look like circuitry going all the way around to the edges of her face. She goes, her name is Kodak, and she's doing just fine.
Lucky you.
If I had known I could have stopped this much earlier, I apologize.
I expect my payment to be delivered before morning dot, and then he'll stalk off after the...
Payment will be sent and collect whatever you want from the site.
He nods and follows after the 4 of them.
All right.
I'll give a half wave to Kodak because I know her and I'm off.
So as you guys leave, Das takes you back to the 5 Point Station. Where are you guys heading now?
Good to see you again, Cyrus.
Relax a little bit, buddy. Just a little bit, it's okay.
Yep.
Is that a new scarf?
Don't respond. Doesn't...
Do I need to go ahead and call Philip again?
Might as well.
Fine. Go ahead and take out my phone and just type out like a really curt, quick, fine, come back.
And you get a response, yes, ma'am.
I'll follow you.
So, Cyrus, I know that we are supposed to be working from scratch, but you don't have to tell me if you don't want to. How much of this do you already know?
You know as much as I do.
Okay, good by me. Need to stop by Athenium. If I don't know what I'm getting into, I'm grabbing everything.
Okay.
I would love to hitch a ride with somebody if that's okay.
Your choice whenever Philip comes back.
Are you sure you want company in that vehicle? It seems
Oh,
like you're...
please. Some other company to talk to would be great.
Oh, you two fighting?
Some other company to talk to would be great.
And so Philip pulls up pretty quickly. And he gets out and opens the door for whoever wants to get in.
I will enter first, as it seems as though you are reluctant to get in.
All right.
Cyrus, I assume you're getting in your truck?
Yeah, walk into my truck, getting in, and then I'll pull around behind the
Okay. Aaron?
limo, is it? Is it a limo?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, pull it behind the limo.
I'm gonna drive behind you. I just want a few minutes to myself to just breathe.
You sure?
I'll be fine.
Okay. I put my hand on the limo doorbell, look at Cyrus, and go, "Do you want company, or are you a solo driver too?"
You can do what you want. I don't care either way.
And I take that as an invitation. I will step back and I will go to the passenger door of his car, and I will sit right next to him.
All right. So first, everybody is heading to the Athenaeum.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right.
Philip knows where I'm
Three
going.
vehicles,
Yep.
Yeah.
all heading to an area that probably has terrible parking.
No,
Every
there's
time.
Good job, guys.
There's parking. There's parking.
All right. So
There's like
you
4
stop
cars.
by the Athenaeum and you're going to pick up some supplies.
Yeah, and I'll just go. You'll hang here. I'll head downstairs, and I'm just gonna like sort through, and I'm grabbing everything.
Yeah.
And then thinking about it, I'm gonna go into one of the locked drawers,
Mm-hmm.
and I am going to put into my shoe, my pant, one Rowan steak, just a regular one.
Okay.
And I'm going to relock that cabinet and head on upstairs.
Okay.
I'm going to take a few minutes to go through my cooler and stock up my bag to take with me into the park.
Okay. All right. Anyone else making pre-game setup?
Just checking my phone as I typically do,
Yeah.
and trying not to make too much eye contact with Thomasina because it seems as though she's in the mood, and I don't want to be the recipient of whatever ire may be headed my way.
And I'm futzing with a charger on my phone, and I've got the blue cobalt, but just anything of my own, I feel like, I'm just kind of messing with it. Nothing is really working right, and so I'm just frustrated at
Like doing that thing where you have to plug in the charger back and forth and back and forth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Thomasina, is there something you want to talk about?
Let's finish all this first.
Okay.
I just really want to go home. Just badly.
Well, we may have our differences, but if you need somebody to listen, I'm here.
You know what I do. We've talked about the fact that I'm superintendent.
Yes, we've bumped heads a couple times about it, yes.
We've talked about my choices. We've talked about why I do this. Philip doesn't seem to understand that this is my choice, and this is what I want to do. I realize that it's difficult, and I realize that it's difficult on him, but sometimes we need to do what we need to do.
And Philip is just keeping it 10 and 2. He's not trying to acknowledge the conversation.
And I just go back to messing with my phone.
Okay, well, if you really want to talk about it.
Oh, if anyone's going to you do what you do. It's difficult enough as it is. You could easily, be in a breach or two yourself.
I don't think I am, but that's not the point.
No, but...
Not here to judge.
Right. Thank you. At least someone isn't. Just go back to my phone.
Okay.
Okay. And so you all are now heading down to Six Flags?
We take one car, we take multiple car.
I really think the person to ask that to would be Cyrus.
I'm taking my truck. You can ride with me if you want. I don't care.
Is there room for 5?
No.
So the answer is we're taking 2 vehicles.
Okay, I call shotgun again, and I sit back in his truck. And as I sit in, I'm gonna pull up my normal phone. And I'm gonna text Dr. Carter just two emoticons. One that's the closest to a theme park, and one that's and a skull, and send it to him, and then just phone back
So
in
the
pocket.
little roller coaster emoji.
Yep.
And then skull emoji.
Yep, and then just put it back in. He'll either know what it means, or he won't, or he'll figure it out later. But
Okay.
he's smart.
And I very lightly shepherd Aaron into the vehicle.
It looks a little crowded in the truck. Why don't I hop in the limo?
we could use a little bit of your calming energy, Aaron.
Gotcha.
And we've got the feet warmers on, too.
You spoil me.
All right. And so everyone heads down to Six Flags.
Yeah.
While we're driving, I'll let it sit for however long, because I imagine Cyrus isn't exactly a radio or a talking kind of person. I'll just say, we missed you after the first assignment. I almost had to scrub the wards. I didn't think you'd be coming back.
I was busy.
Mm.
And about that, if you do anything with my blood, Tremere, I assure you there's no wards that you can hide behind that will stop me for what I will do to you.
Really?
And that's not a threat. It is a mere fact.
Based on experience, I take.
Doesn't say anything else beyond that.
Okay.
Just can...
Anton gets the message.
All right, so you guys pull up, and you see there's typical parking gates barring the area from proper parking. And it says closed until March of 2020.
Well, that simply won't do.
There's a few emergency lights throughout the park. You can see it's a little bit lit. But everything else is dark. The gates are only about 2 to 3 feet high.
Mm-hmm. Can I just really quickly kick on heightened senses, see if I hear like anybody walking around the park, like security or something?
You can't hear anything.
Okay, it's good enough for me. I'll take a look around and I'll see about scaling this 2 to 3 foot high fence.
You can literally just move it out of the way.
Oh, well, then even better.
So as he's doing that, I'm going to walk to the bed of my truck, open the back, and lift up the cover that sits on the bed, and then will place his hand on the bottom, and there's a click, and he'll lift open the underside of the bed, the floor bed, and will pull out a book bag from a concealed compartment, and then will pull a small handgun and holster it in a under holster, and then will pull to make sure he has his back weapon as well, and then we'll close it, and then click the lock on the truck.
Okay.
So start slowly make his way towards the gate.
All right, so you guys walk up, and it's same Six Flags gate, ominous. 2 towering gateways, and on your way in there is a small set of pamphlets of maps. You can choose to take them.
Might as well.
Since the park is closed, we will be doing this on our phones. And so where would you guys like to go?
No, I've never actually been to one of these before.
I'm going to check her out on Facebook and Instagram and Google and all the fun things we normally do. So, first place I go is Facebook?
Nothing for any of them.
Okay. Alright, well, we don't have any selfies to figure out where the last place she was.
Nope. No stealthy means we do hard way again.
I would venture to say that nobody's at the Georgia Cyclone because it beats up everybody.
Who knows? There's no lines. Maybe it's more fun.
I'm gonna go kind of look around. You kind of see as he like kind of takes in the view. You definitely can tell that he has never been here before. He has no idea, but he's like looking, and he's looking up, and he's looking, and his eyes come to is it agoraphobia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Acrophobia.
Acrophobia. That's right. Acrophobia.
Agoraphobia.
Agoraphia. It's the worst ride for an outside park.
You are incredibly agoraphobic.
Completely different phobia. Yeah. Acrophobia. And we'll start making his way towards that.
Towards acrophobia? All right.
I'll trail behind. I don't feel like splitting the party is good so early on.
I totally agree, but I'm going to hang behind everybody and just hands behind my back, kind of just looking, thinking, keeping an eye out.
Thomasina, even not as a kindred? Never these?
Been around a long time. But no, when even so, as a kindred, it's not really my go-to place.
And you gotta think about how often it's actually open after dark during the year. It's not very often.
Oh, there's a whole season for it. I've just never gone.
Fright Fest? There's all this Halloween stuff?
No school outings?
Not with me, not here. It's usually basketball games. This is interesting. Also, it says that there's at least a couple of rides here that are completely in the dark, so I wonder if that's where she might be.
He's worth a shot.
Completely in the dark is relative, obviously, but
I'm not sure.
Water would be a consideration because one of those dark rides is wet.
Is it? Oh.
Have you really never been here?
No, never. No,
I mean, you have seen a roller coaster before, right?
I've seen them.
Okay.
But have you ridden one?
No.
Did you
hear that?
Do you want to?
The controls are open.
Are we doing this? We should do this.
Just give it a time. Look through the map. See if there's a ride you
I
like.
really want to go to Superman. Look, please. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I really. It seems interesting.
I will say that it breaks down often, and if you get caught in a compromising position, it is hard to get out of. So keep that in mind.
Well, maybe that's where she's gone to. Maybe she's stuck.
I like the way you think,
Yes.
and maybe we're breaking the party up, and I take the two of them, and we head to Superman.
Yeah, I'm still following Cyrus.
Yeah,
I've
so
got no
we're gonna go to
idea.
Superman. We have decided we have
Research.
2 missions.
Right.
She gave you 2 days. That's plenty of time to ride a roller coaster.
Sure.
We've been finding children in really quick order lately.
So much hard work.
All right, ghoul boys. What are you guys doing over at Acropho?
As soon as I get up to it, I am going to look for the just make my way up it. I'm just gonna start climbing it.
Okay.
I'm gonna handholds or like service ladders, what have you, and and I'm going all the way up.
There is a service ladder in the middle of it.
Great. I don't even look to see if you're following me. I'm just going up.
I am on the ground watching.
Just watching as he scales. So you make it to the top. It's a bit of precarious seating up there, but
It's fine. I will. Once I feel comfortable that I'm as high as I can possibly get, I am going to, before I step on further out, I'm going to pull off my backpack. I'm going to unzip it. I'm going to open it, and it opens straight down the middle. And I'm going to start putting my sniper rifle together.
okay.
And I am going to take the stock, slide the barrel in, click that in, continue to just completely assembling it. And as I do, I have 2 scopes, and I pull the larger one, slide that on, lock it into place. And I pull a small magazine that has 5 rounds in it, put that in, and I will hop up on the ledge using Cat's Grace.
Okay.
As I will begin to, and I will look through, and I will heighten senses vision as I begin to scan the entire park, looking for movement.
For right now, the only movement you see is
The 3 of us traipsing towards Superman.
the motley crew going straight for Superman.
And I'm just a little bit ahead of them. I'm really kind of looking at it.
Storyteller.
Yes.
Just for note, I haven't dropped heightened senses yet. Do I hear what he's putting together up there?
Yes.
Okay.
You can hear clicking and metal, but
Can I see if I look up with all my senses on?
he's obscured by a lot of the metal grating.
Okay.
So you can just hear that he is doing something with metal
Okay.
up there, and lots of clicking and sliding,
Okay.
but as you would be unfamiliar with the
That
exact
level of
build
gun.
Yeah, you're not familiar with this kind of sniper rifle, so you wouldn't recognize the sound.
Makes sense.
All right, so you're just gonna keep your.
I'm just gonna basically keep
scanning.
Yep, gonna. If I can, I want to try and find a way to get on the very, very top.
You can get up there.
Okay.
Especially with Cat's Grace.
Yep, I will swing and make my way up there, and then I will basically lay down and again just
Keep scanning.
the best vantage that I can over
Yeah.
the entire, and basically I'll track these 2 to figure out what they're doing, but I'm constantly looking for just any sign of movement in the park.
Okay.
While I'm waiting down there, he's been up there for a bit. I'm just having a thought. I'm going to pull out my cobalt blue phone, and I'm going to flip through the address book that I haven't actually looked through because you've only ever received or sent. Is Cyrus in my phone?
No.
Okay. I'll close it. Look up. And I'll walk sort of laterally away from where he is,
Okay.
checking out a nearby area.
All
To
right.
figure out where I am though, based on the map, but
All right, and so back to our motley crew who have made their way to the Superman.
Are we in the queue, or where are we?
Yeah, you've made your way into the queue. There are keys left inside the drawer of the ride operating station, and there is a car available and waiting.
There it is.
I'm not a big fan of heights.
Does the key go in the car, or does it?
No, okay, so just go sit down. Go over there and sit. You gotta kind of straddle it, and put your legs in these little stirrup things.
What's this?
Just go.
Yeah,
just go
I'll
over.
show you.
All
I'll
right,
show you.
okay. And I'm gonna grab the keys and stick them into the ignition on the control board.
Mm-hmm.
It seems fairly self-explanatory.
Yeah, there's a
right?
manual still inside for the teenagers that they barely train.
Yeah. So I will, kind of thumb through that to see exactly what the steps are.
Okay.
And I really want to take out my phone so I can video this, but I decide against that for the sake of her pride. And I know she's having a tough day, so this would be a nice distraction.
All right, so Aaron, you get her situated.
Yep. So buckle goes across.
Okay. Right.
Top comes down.
Oh, all right.
Now it's got you stretched out flat for some of the ride.
Yes. When I turn the button, and I'm gonna turn it, and it's gonna
Oh, geez.
her forward.
Right,
Oh, it's
right,
okay. It's all right. Just hopefully it doesn't get stuck.
Uh-huh.
That would be really bad. And,
That would not be good.
And I'm gonna press the ignition before she has a chance to really complain too much.
And you're off.
And as this happens, I'm using their probably not even planning it distraction to look to see if using that noise that they're making
moving.
Yes, to kind of see if that's pulling anyone to them. And that's why I'm focusing on that a lot, looking towards if anybody's going towards the Superman ride.
No one.
Okay.
I sort of am, but it's because I'm walking towards that little shopping area that's just between the Superman area and Acrophobia, Crystal Pistol, all the dining areas and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I'm not going there. I'm looking around this area, and I'd like to turn on Sense the Unseen to see if there's anything in this park, whether it's what we're looking for or just otherwise.
Nothing that you can see at this point.
I'll leave it on.
Okay.
Right.
As she is riding, I'm keeping an eye peeled. I'm kind of letting Aaron make sure that the car gets back into its place like it needs to, and the ride is very short.
While I'm up there, is there anything I catch?
Nothing
It's
that you
quack.
see.
It's quack,
Nobody is running to you guys making this kind of noise. But you do get a lovely view of the city.
And there's nothing down below, in the pit underneath or anything like that?
Nope.
Okay.
I will also trigger Sense the Unseen.
Okay.
As I'm looking, get pretty confident that just looking through heightened senses, I don't see anything. I'm now going to start looking through Sense the Unseen to see if anybody is obfuscated or supernatural or anything of such, to see if I can see any of that through my vantage point.
Nothing that you can see.
Okay.
All right, and so the ride comes to an end. You pull in.
It does have a moment. It does have a moment where she gets stuck, and I can't seem to figure out which button it is to let the latch go. So she's just
It's fine.
straight down.
It's
no,
fine.
it's fine. We
It's
got
fine.
this.
No, you're all right. Take your time. This is great.
So we're just kind of, and I kind of motion to him and we're almost there. It's just
good.
it's fine. Everything's right here, and she's just flat down. And then of course I push the button because it is a button that just says unlatch or something. It's a very easy button to see. Yeah. And then we go to help you.
And I get off and I didn't see anything.
But did you enjoy the ride though?
We should definitely check that other one out just to see if there's a cross-reference that we're missing.
There is something that we could definitely look at while we're here, though.
Yeah.
Follow me.
All right.
And I'll take them to the picture moment.
Before we have an opportunity for that, I make sure to turn everything off as it should be, put the keys back where they were, manual back where it was, keep everything as untouched as it can be. And, then I follow him where he is leading us.
And I show them the 2 or 3 rows of pictures and cameras, and on one of the, I guess, most recent ones, do we see any pictures?
Nope, the camera was not on.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So this is where it usually takes a picture.
Of me while I was writing.
Yes, usually like when you're having your most fun. But if we knew what Sarah looked like, we could also use this to maybe track her progress throughout the park.
Do other rides like this have this same thing?
Pretty much every ride does.
Really? More reasons to investigate.
Exactly.
I'm not going to immediately douse her hopes, but I think at this point the business at hand is becoming increasingly more concerning. We've been here long enough and we've seen nothing, and at this point in most of our travels we have at least figured out a name and a look.
Right. Yeah.
So I think maybe we need to start doing a little bit more hard searching.
Well, I think there's also supposed to be like kind of more shady, like, you know, eating areas and stuff like that aren't as brightly lit, right?
You want Gotham, yeah. It's shadowy, dark, a little smelly. Really smelly.
Really smelly.
Huh. Interesting.
So yeah, Gotham I think is a good place
All right.
to be in. Also, it's far enough away from there that we have a good bit of distance to traverse, and I think that it would be a good time for us to kind of look around as much as we can. I don't know if either of you have any sort of ability to see more than I do, but...
Not especially, no.
I'll flick on Eyes of the Beast
Okay.
and see if I notice anything in the dark.
Nothing in the Gotham area.
I'll take it off before I leave it on too long.
I imagine you probably would have passed me going from the Superman over to the Gotham area. And I'm just, as you walk by, I'm just like...
Research.
Yes.
It's all good. Yeah. Nothing over there, though.
And I'm trying to like smooth out my hair. Definitely didn't ride a ride for any other reason than we needed to.
she was able to see much better from that vantage point.
For a very brief but important amount of time.
We'll keep up the good work.
Thank you.
And I'm going to make my way over past where they were towards Calypso Bay.
Okay. To the water park area?
Yeah.
All right. It's been drained
Okay.
for the winter. Everything looks like it probably could use its fresh coat of paint and cleaning.
I still have heightened senses since the unseen up.
Nothing is out of the ordinary.
I'm gonna be like walking around, like just looking into looking into the ride waiting areas, looking into the drained pool, see if I can see anything of notice.
Nothing strikes your fancy.
I'll double back.
Okay.
I would like to attempt to get into the laser tag area of Gotham, as it's dark and enclosed.
Okay.
I do not have any sort of ability to pick a lock, but either one of you have some skills.
Okay. Not for this, no.
If you don't care about the lock, sure.
I don't care about the lock, but they may.
Listen, if they're employing as many kids as I think they are, then they probably go through a lot of locks around here. Go ahead.
Okay. I'll check around me to make sure. I mean, near as we know, we're the only ones here. Extend my hand outwards and activate feral weapons to elongate into essentially claws.
Okay.
On my hand, and just take a big swipe at the lock and chain.
My compliments to your manicurist.
And this is my first time having witnessed your abilities in that way, even though we've had other opportunities to spend time together for other reasons. And I am just...
I'll try to shake it off, but it's gonna have to stay up for quite a bit. I do need to make a rouse check,
Yes.
though. Okay.
Yes, you do.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Failure.
Okay, so your hunger increases by 1.
Okay.
So you are at 2.
And I'll open up the door and go on in.
So we enter into the laser tag area, which is absolutely pitch dark.
Yep.
Save for the exit signs.
Yep.
And smells
Like-
just like ketchup and sweat.
And vomit.
And
Don't
so
forget
much.
vomit.
Yeah. Old tennis shoes. Just
What do we see? I mean, at this point, it's just a dark,
It's
basically
just
warehouse area.
It's an empty laser tag warehouse.
Okay. Does he still have eyes? Do you still have eyes of the beast?
I can turn that on
Okay.
pretty freely. So I'll take another gander around the room.
Nothing that you can see.
No, nothing out of the ordinary. Looks as bad as it smells.
I'm
Cyrus?
gonna start coming down.
I was gonna say before you come
sorry.
down.
Yes, sorry.
From your vantage point, you see a slight bit of movement from inside the Munchopolis snacks, the small snack stand, over by, like, towards the Superman.
Okay.
There's a little movement from inside the window, and then it's gone.
Okay.
Nobody you can see has entered or left.
Okay. Then at that point, I will come down. I will quickly, using rapid reflexes, disassemble and put up my rifle.
Okay.
Sling my backpack back on and quickly come down. And as I do, I am going to make a rouse check for this, but I am going to use Unseen Passage
Okay.
to vanish as I make my way towards where I saw the movement.
Okay, so make your rouse check.
You said Munchopolis? That's over near where I am.
It's a success.
I'm walking back that way, actually.
Okay, success? Okay,
Success, yes.
so
I do
you're
not
okay?
get more hungry.
Alright, so you make your way over there. Nothing there.
I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna look and see if I can find any sign of someone or something looking for something.
You see that a couple of the food things have been opened. There's some random small food items missing that likely weren't that way, you know. Containers that are just, they're cracked a little bit open. It looks like someone clearly came in here for food.
Okay. Is there another way in or out?
Not that you can see.
Okay. I'm gonna look the area, see if I can find a trace, or see if I can find some, basically a track or like crumbs or something to follow or get a sense of what direction they may have gone.
Nothing seemingly.
Am I seeing like the door just open and close on its own when I'm back in this area at this point?
Yeah, you did see the door open.
Okay, I'm gonna move the stake from my pants like up under my sleeve.
Okay.
So, one of us.
As you come up, you just hear. I'll come out of Unseen Passage. Saw movement. Nothing. It's getting food.
Regular food?
Yeah.
So it may not be one of us then.
Maybe not. But it's hard to track, which is troublesome.
You saw a movement.
When I point to the place that where it was.
Okay. I'm gonna go over to it, and I see the same thing, like one door in and out, nothing else. I'm gonna just start moving things off of shelves, see if there's anything behind shelves.
Nothing behind the shelves.
Nothing like holes, anything like that. All right.
It's just one of those, like, you know, like the kind of like a cotton candy stand looking thing.
Yeah. I just wanted to see if there was a way that somebody could have gone out, like an unseen exit. Huh.
Yep.
Just gonna by here.
Do you know where the security office in this park is?
I will in a moment, and I'm just gonna. I'll pull up the map,
Okay.
and I'm just looking for security or guest services, any number of things.
There's one not far from you.
All right. So I'll just gesture and walk in that general direction. and just like following the map as we go.
Okay.
And he follows.
All right, so Motley Crew, what are you guys doing?
Exiting the disgusting laser tag area, which is really bad, and we'll all exit. I'll hang behind them just a little bit and close the door and like try to piece it back to get. Forget it.
It's fine.
And I just let it kind of clink clink, kind of fall down.
On the map, it says there are cars. The smaller ones, those cars.
Go karts.
Sure. If there are cars that they use here, then there's also maintenance that they have to do here.
Oh, I see.
Do you think that they have garages, things like that, where they keep defunct cars and things like that?
Didn't you see it when you were on Superman? Everything that's behind all of these facades is some sort of a usable building.
It's a lot of tin roofs. I can't really tell from one or the other, but there was a patch over on one side that looked especially dark. I figure that's got to be a place with less rides. But yeah, I think it's over. I think maybe head towards the go-karts to see if there's a garage over there.
Okay. So you guys want to head towards the go-karts?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Other two?
I assume we've gotten to the security
Yes.
depot at this point.
Yes.
Is it closed, locked? I assume.
It's closed and locked.
All right. I'm gonna just peer in if there are any windows. I never actually.
Yeah, there's a typical, like, kind of a service window. Sort of almost like a old-fashioned ticket gate, but it's so people can go up and report issues.
Okay. Look in windows, see if I can see anything inside.
There's a couple TVs that are turned off for security camera purposes. There's a chair, some papers, a coffee someone forgot on the desk.
Looks empty. Do you want to go in?
Do you think that this place has security footage? Do you not find it weird that there is no mortal guards here?
Honestly, it's Six Flags in the wintertime. I imagine they were here. He is gone. He might be getting lunch. He might be asleep in his car. This is not exactly very secure location.
I see. And people can just come and ride rides in the middle of the night?
If you know how to turn it on. They, sometimes the rides turn on themselves. Like, it's also not a very safe location, I might add.
Why?
I mean, it's not like it's fucking Disney World. It's just a Six Flags in the offshoot of Atlanta. They don't upkeep it as much. They upkeep it when it is time to ride, when it's time to entertain. In the down season, they don't expect people to come in. They monitor as needed. They report if alarms go off. The fact that no alarms have gone off by anything, that is interesting.
Is this Disney World another amusement park?
How long has it been since you've been in America?
Some time.
Long enough to not know Disney World.
I go specific places for specific reasons. I have not been to Disney World for a specific reason.
Well, you should try it sometime. I hear it's happiest place on earth. It might rub off on you. Would you like to go in, or should I? I'm gonna examine the lock. Just try the handle, see if it is locked.
It is.
I don't feel like getting hungry just yet, so I'm gonna go into my side pouch, and of things that I grabbed, I'm going to grab my old lockpick kit.
Okay.
And I'd like to see if I can just break it.
Yeah, so for that, roll me... Let's see here. Roll me dexterity and larceny.
Larceny? Yeah, I guess larceny, that's streetwise. 2 successes.
Okay, it takes a bit of fussing. It kind of bends your lockpick a little bit, but you're able to get it open.
Alright. I'll just click. I'm gonna step back with the door as I open it, just in case.
You actually, as you step back and open it, you actually see that Cyrus has drawn and has pulled up, like resting a for specific reasons, it is a 9mm style SIG, and he
I recognize that one.
as you open the door, he's in and already scanning. Sense the unseen, still active.
Yeah, both of mine are still up.
And is going to just scan the room, making sure that there's no one in here. And as assuming he sees no one.
Nothing.
Okay. Is there a security system, like a surveillance system?
There is a surveillance system. It's just not on.
I'm gonna go in behind, and I'm going to go up to it and turn it on.
Okay.
I want to see if...
Turning it on, you can see various shots around the park. Each TV is rather large and contains probably about 12 cameras on each TV.
Scan through, spot these knuckleheads. Anything else?
Nothing at this time. It's still a ghost town all over.
Can I pull up any recorded archive that might have been stored, if there's anything recent at all? Motion detection, etc.
The computer for them is not on.
Okay.
The computer that contains the passcode for them, you would have to be able to hack the computer to get in.
Certainly give it a shot. I've got a decent technology.
Yeah, for that, give me... Let's make it intelligence and technology.
Oh, so kind of you. One, two, crit. So 6?
6 successes?
Yeah.
The password was password 01.
I'll try password before I try password 01.
You managed to get in. The computer just has the monitoring software, Solitaire, and Microsoft Edge.
I imagine there's no like nothing in the like Windows Explorer of any like stored files of recordings.
No, from looking at this, you can tell that the computers probably send their data back to a company that monitors it.
Cloud.
Yeah.
All right. Well, nothing local, but you'll have eyes.
He'll just scan again, looking, but not really seeing anything.
Just gonna watch the cameras for a bit. Okay. Real quick. Yes.
On our way, I am unable to pull up the map currently IRL, so you have the map. What lands are we going through heading where we're going? Are we going through the western area by any chance?
We are headed through, let's see. I think it's mostly through a lot of the gaming areas.
Okay.
This map is just so good. It's great. So detailed. There's like a train
if you want to show me as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we were over here.
Yes.
We're heading.
You're heading through the path by the carousel.
Right.
Okay.
By like the swings and through just kind of like a western town thing.
Are we going to the western town?
I think that's
Is that
maybe.
That's the direction. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay? So
The
on the way-
the western town is adjacent to the go-karts.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I am going to grab Thomasina by the hand and motion Aaron to follow me. We're going to do one more thing, just one more quick thing. We're going to head over to the picture place,
Okay.
and I'm going to ask him, can you do the lock thing again, or is that...
I've had my hand in the pocket the whole time. I'll pull it back up and
It's still activated?
Yeah.
just take another swipe.
And at this point, I have no qualms about him doing it, and I fling the door open, and I motion to all the clothing, because I know that her age is similar to mine. And
So, Thomasina, you see a lot of traditional Western clothing.
Oh my god.
Different styles of costumes,
bustles,
hats,
corsets, hats, just the whole
and then a
works.
beautiful set piece of a saloon with a little bar top.
Oh my god.
So I grab a couple things, and I motion for her to grab a couple things, and I hand off my phone to Aaron.
I'll use my good hand. I don't want to crush anything.
And I flip on maybe one light, just one, not like the actual light, just enough to get something.
And I grab like the rattiest looking, just kind of like bustle that's probably been used 100 times and it's never been washed.
And you guys can see this
I'm
on
gonna
the camera.
I'm gonna pull out my blue phone. I'm gonna group text. Try the white Stetson.
That magic stuff, how does he know?
It's right there. It's a camera.
We wave to
Yeah.
him.
and from behind the camera, just.
So I actually went out of my way to find whatever was the most true to the era of the backdrop as I could find, as I myself have
Been there.
I have been there and done that, and so I find the most still usable corset and the most still okay hat, and kind of.
They're older, some stitching's popped, but they're still reasonable.
It's okay, that's all right. So I help. Okay, so you're gonna sit right here, and you're gonna put your legs like that.
I get like a high-colored lace thing.
Yeah.
It has like a brooch that's like glued to it.
And before I like get into my place, I'm gonna like pull the ruffles of her shirt apart, so it's a little bit more like, come on, loosen up a little bit. It's okay. Because clearly she's had a bad day, so this is our opportunity. And poor Aaron, he's just along for the ride. I'm sorry.
Well, Sunday, I've already dated one member of this party.
No, that's not. Just loosen up a little bit. Just take a deep breath. Yeah. Well, not a deep breath.
I can only do so much in this.
Yes. So.
And I ask her, did you see the white Stetson?
Do you want to wear?
Oh, Britt, come on.
Okay.
Just get it.
All right. So I go grab it and. I stick it on, even though it does not go with anything that I'm wearing right now. And I get in front of her.
Booth, just
I get in front of her.
Cyrus is bored but slightly amused.
There's no amusement.
And I kind of do my thing, and I ask, okay, just take a bunch. I'm just gonna move her and move me, and so we just move a bunch of different poses. And
it's full on just rom-com girls night.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
lots of like all the faces that we haven't made in a very, very long time.
Yes.
Like incrementally, like my face kind of decides to do other stuff.
Are you loosening up at all? Is more?
I am.
Okay,
I am. I get like a couple of poses where just like I'm hiking up the skirt, and then just like, and we're giggling and kind of salad giggles, that kind of thing.
There would be nothing even prop wise that is of any religious content, would there, in this shop?
No, not really.
Okay, cool. So we're just doing our thing, and
we're grabbing stuff. There's like a couple of like sarsaparilla bottles or whatever, and we're just kind of like, where did they?
How often do we get to experience that sort of humanity? And for me, it's a little bit of a, really for both of us, it's a little bit of a, back in the old days sort of thing. So
and then at one point, like I just kind of I'm getting kind of like, oh, this is. I am starting to feel like I am really getting off track. Like it's honestly just too much happiness, and I can't deal with it. So I just kind of like, we really do need to get back to this. Aaron, did you actually get anything?
You got probably about 10 pictures.
Some of my thumb is in like some of the pictures.
That's okay.
But there's some good ones in there.
That's good.
I promise.
So I will, clap her on the shoulder and say as friendly as I can, do you feel better at all? At least a little bit?
I feel like we need to move on.
Okay.
And so I just kind of take the stuff off, and I honestly just like lump it in a corner, and I have like a split second thought of like, it does make some people happy. And then I just kind of like, no, you know what? This thing has probably ended up on the floor way too many times. It's fine. So I leave it.
I don't. I allow them to. I let them kind of giggle over the pictures while I kind of like quietly put things back on their hangers and put them back where they go. And I don't bother taking a look at the pictures because we are now in a little bit more of a rush. So I just kind of stick the phone back in my. Do we see anything while we're there?
No.
It's the inside of a building. You never know. Somebody may have hidden there.
But I did see a couple of pictures that I make a mental note that I need to possibly send her way.
All right. Cyrus?
So as after about 30 seconds of watching that, Cyrus immediately just turns around and starts walking away.
Are you still in the security office?
I'm walking just outside of it.
Okay.
And because I don't know if you're staying and watching the.
I am, because it's something I want to try. If there's stuff in here.
Okay. And as he does, he looks back at you and says, "How hungry are you?"
I'm feeling good. How hungry are you?
Control yourself. And he'll reach in and pull a knife out.
Okay.
And as he starts to walk closer to where the last place he saw someone, he's gonna just slit up his arm.
Okay.
And just let blood start dripping down as
Okay.
he just walks. As he continues just to drip, as he kind of grits his teeth. He
So
reaches.
for that, you will need to make a rouse check.
Absolutely. And he'll reach into one of his pouches and pull a Ziploc bag, and he'll open it and put something in his mouth and begin chewing on it before putting it back up.
Okay.
And I will gladly make a rouse check.
And I smell that immediately, I imagine.
Critical success. So
Okay, you're good.
perfectly fine. Yeah.
How far ahead are you and, like, not looking at me, I imagine?
Not looking at you, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely like scanning, like head on a swivel as I begin to just drip.
The moment that he cuts it and I smell it and I turn and I see him walking, the moment he does that, I step out, touch my finger to it and touch it to my tongue for taste of blood.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
It's resolve and blood sorcery, which is all of my dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 successes.
5 successes.
And it's not going to tell me everything, but it's going to tell me some things.
That is information I will give you privately,
Okay.
away from the rest of the coterie.
Okay. Tell me during the break.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll figure out from there. But I'll just and I'm gonna go back into the security office and look around just for the one last thing to do. Is there a control board in here for the rest of the park, or is that a different building?
That would be a different building.
Okay, look around. Okay.
And so as your eyes are scanning over the screen, you see a slight movement, and all of you hear the sound of a metal door slamming shut, echoing through the park.
Did I see where it was?
And that is where we're going to take
All
it.
right.
So we'll be right back. Welcome back. And so when we left before the break, there was a loud sound of a steel door shutting that rang across the park, and
I'm in front of the cameras.
on the cameras, you see that there is a little bit of a shaking door motion coming from the carousel.
Carousel, I am out the door, running past him, like, I'm just slapping a hand on his shoulder because he's in the middle of doing stuff, and I just go, this way.
All right, as soon as I hear it, I'm
Yeah.
gun drawn,
Yeah.
on the move.
Okay.
And we heard that as well, correct?
You heard the bang.
I'm going to pull up my phone and I'll just group text Carousel, and it'll be typos because it's T9 texting, but it's just Carousel.
Does it sound like a large metal door, or like a kind of utilitarian metal door, like just heavy?
Like kind of just like a bay door
Okay.
almost. So not a giant, but just like
Right.
your regular like bay door.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like CRSL
Yeah.
to the group.
Okay, let's move.
Yep. Yeah, I think when we hear it, we all go, what?
Yeah.
And then move.
Yeah.
All right, so everyone's running and meeting up at the carousel.
Where is that damn thing?
You guys
It
get there.
is-
The carousel has. It's in the middle. They passed it on their way to the go-karts.
There it is. Found it. Riverview Carousel.
So, as you guys get there, it's got a couple emergency lights around it. But nothing that you can see at this moment.
I want to move to the door that was shaking on the camera.
It's from the inside panel of the carousel.
Okay. I'll go over like to that area, examine, see what's in there. I still have heightened sense to sense the unseen up.
The panels of the carousel are all still.
I'm just gonna start touching them, like touching the seams, moving down, and just tug.
So none of them are moving, but you do see a set of hinges. It's the typical electrical maintenance
Alright.
door for it.
Gesture to you. Have you guys made it over at this point?
We're
Yeah,
there.
you got,
Right.
they're
Yeah.
there.
I'm
Right.
getting my coat on because I'm still getting dressed back from.
And we're just gonna hands up, point to you. I'm gonna just dig my fingers into the one with the hinges on it and just pull, see if it opens.
No.
No.
And I'm just gonna run over and just say, "You've tried everything so far."
Not everything.
All right.
Is there enough space for me to actually get my finger into the seam where I would pull
Yes.
more? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and try some corrosive vitae.
I am behind everybody looking around like,
What do you intend to melt?
I'm going to run my finger down, the rough center where I think a latch might be. See if I can just melt it away until it separates enough from the pieces that I can pull it open easier.
Okay.
Can I stop him at this point?
Yeah.
To be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, Aaron."
You need something broken.
Maybe.
I got it.
Okay.
I'll pull out the steel claws
Oh.
and get as far down as I can and just rip.
Okay. Make me
Oh boy.
a
longer die, don't forget.
just make it a strength and brawl check.
Gotcha.
While he's doing that, I reach behind my jacket and I pull out a silencer and I begin screwing it onto my SIG.
I take note.
4 successes.
Okay, you do manage to rip it off of the lock. The door is noticeably damaged, though.
And they probably know that we're here, but it's okay. Good job.
That was my concern. I'm looking around trying to see if there's anybody else moving, and
No one has.
They've already made a loud bang. I'm pretty sure at this point they don't particularly care.
I'm still cautious at this point.
Aaron, if you wouldn't mind.
Yep. I'll pry back the door. Or
Okay.
wall.
Okay, and so inside, you see regular electrical maintenance, and then there is a tunnel with a ladder that goes straight down.
You have flashlight in that bag?
And you'll see him actually pull and click an attachment onto the lower part of his SIG, and we'll click it, and then we'll kind of raise up and we'll just drop down.
Yeah.
I'll,
Okay, so you're just gonna drop. Okay.
I'll just climb down after him.
Okay.
I am not going to climb down. I'm going to just hang out by the ladder until I get the all clear.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and head down.
Okay.
I'll stay up front. I'll stay up top.
Okay. So those of you that drop down, when you drop down, you both still have heightened senses up, yes?
And sense the unseen.
Yep,
Yes.
Both
same.
of us.
My heightened senses is vision. I think yours is hearing.
Mine's everything.
Okay. Or yeah.
I can only see what's in the light.
So as it hits you, as you get down there, the smell of mud, mold, and blood is overwhelming.
Okay. I don't turn on a flashlight actually because
Oh.
I can, with heightened senses, I can see in the dark. So
Yeah.
So I'm in the dark.
You're on, yeah.
All right.
But the smell is completely overpowering. You can even place, some kind of the smell of body odor and chemicals and
Living
that's-
body odor? Not like decomp, but like living body odor?
Yeah, like just regular BO. And that blood smell is just completely overwhelming.
I want to try my wits resolve to just power through it.
Would we
Okay.
be smelling that as well?
You guys have not smelled it yet.
What,
I
what's
imagine
happening
it's
down there?
quite
Do we need to
intense for
follow,
us.
or I'm calling after them, asking what we need to do?
I'm not saying anything yet because I'm trying not to choke. On a difficulty of 3, I matched.
Okay.
So I'm gonna steal through it.
Yeah.
Anton, what's happening?
Taking in the sights.
Should we follow, or
How much do you want to keep what's in your stomach?
well, I'll take that as a follow.
I'll turn on the light on my phone as I go down the stairs.
Okay.
I'll let him be behind me as he does that because I do not feel confident
3
enough
successes.
about my ability
we
to
matched.
go down the steps with my hands on the rails and hold my phone. So I'm gonna let him hold the phone, and then when he comes down, I'll hold my phone up for him.
Okay.
Cyrus matched with wits resolve, so we're both good.
Okay. So you're both good.
No,
Yeah.
It's
not
just
overcome with grossness.
Yeah.
you're not overcome with it, but it is just oof.
Yeah, but we're able to dampen that smell.
Yeah.
A bit just to keep everything else up.
It's when you detect a skunk on the highway.
Yeah.
It's noticeable, but it's not gonna mess you up.
And was that something we would detect as well, since we don't have our senses?
No,
or
it's
anything?
because they have heightened senses up.
I imagine you guys. It smells, but not to the level of us.
Probably
So-
smells like
so
the
once
inside
you-
of the.
Once you guys get down, it smells like what you imagine the inside of a tauntaun smells like. It's blood, body odor, chemicals, mud, just
I'm going unseen passage.
okay.
I get hungry.
Are you
Okay.
Are you able to do that with us right next to you?
I'm not trying to hide from you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So the tunnel in front of you is quite long. You can't quite see the end of it. But the walls of this tunnel that are rounded, as you look a bit closer, you notice that these tunnels have been dug manually. The grooves in the mud mimic the shape of fingers, clawing and forming these on their own.
How big is this tunnel?
It's probably about, I'd say maybe 6 feet wide.
And tall? Same?
About 7 feet tall.
Alright, so not terribly tall. I want to give myself a bit of an advantage.
Okay.
Because I don't know what we're going down here, but I don't like the notion of being stuck in one place.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to... What am I rolling? There it is. I'm going to take out a little vial that has a living spider in it that I pulled from the little terrarium I have in my office in one of the shelves. That has some and there's some blood inside the vial on the bottom.
Okay.
And I'm going to shake it really hard. It's just going to just kill the thing and down it. And I'm going to attempt to activate, but not use yet, Clinging of the Insect.
Okay.
And I have a critical success for hunger, so I'm okay there. And then I roll 1,000,000 dice.
Play to your strengths.
Yeah, I'm good. 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Alright, so now I have the ability to move along the walls and ceiling, should I require.
I'm going to inspect the walls closer with my phone. Do I see fingernails? Do I see blood? Do I see anything of that?
You can just see that it's definitely like the spacing in the grooves is hand spacing, and it just looks like these were manually dug.
Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
This is awful.
But it's dug with a lot of purpose. This isn't...
Are we sure this is where we need to be right now?
Yeah.
I start moving forward.
Okay.
I'm going to move forward too. I'm just going to kind of like drag my hand along the wall as I move, just in case I need to quickly grab onto it.
Okay. So as you guys are walking in, those smells are getting more and more pronounced. You can start picking out the individual scents instead of the overwhelming cacophony. You can detect that there is the smell of blood, the smell of multiple blood,
The hell is this
multiple
place?
chemicals, bodies, and you reach a room. A round, very dimly lit room. There's a couch that old, one leg missing, so it's cocked off to its side. Typical grandma couch with the plaid, but the fabric's ripped. There's a spring coming out of it. There's a small coffee table with a TV and a lamp. Wires from all of it going up into a tube in the ceiling. And just piles and boxes of junk around everywhere, and a blanket and pillow on the couch.
I still have Sense the Unseen up. Anything here except for him that I can see?
No.
Alright.
But it's just the furniture.
And there's one way in and out?
There is an entrance on the other side.
What's the lighting like here?
Very dim.
What's
It's
the
just the
source?
lamp.
Okay. Is that lamp plugged into? What's it plugged into?
It's, you can see all those wires for everything are going
Right.
up into a tube in the ceiling, presumably to a power source.
Probably just like jacked from something else in the park. Okay. Does it look like this is a fairly new addition, or like this has been there a while?
This has been here for quite a while.
Right.
I want to toe through the junk that's on the ground, see if there's anything.
It's a lot of computer supplies. It's just like your typical junk drawer boxes. There's some medical supplies in some, keyboards, cables,
What kind of medical supplies?
syringes, scalpels. Essentially, these boxes are full of a lot of circuit pieces and a lot of metal.
Oh, I'm gonna grab a scalpel.
Okay.
Is there any food? Any human food?
Not that you can see.
Are we invading? Should we like prep for a fight?
I'll just hold up the scalpel.
Always.
Is that
And
okay?
he'll motion to you because I think
I watched
see
you
me.
go.
Yeah. Well, even now you're
Yeah.
sensing. So
Yeah.
But he'll motion for the door as he takes, gets ready.
I'm gonna walk up. I'm gonna walk up to the door. I'm gonna have still one hand on the wall. I'm gonna see if the handle moves.
So you walked around the round
Yes.
of the room.
Yes. I'm literally just
Okay,
dragging
so
my hand along the wall.
As you started to do that,
Yep.
there's a weird inconsistency in the mud, and you feel something hard
I'm gonna stop.
beneath it.
I'm gonna push.
Solid. And as you move your hand a little bit further, there's another solid spot. And Mel, on your side of the room, you start seeing inconsistencies in the mud as well, with something underneath them along the walls.
I'm gonna dig my hand into the mud and just see if I can scrape if it's like too hard to scrape away or not.
Some of it is dried, but you manage to get a bit of the muck off.
Can I see a bit more?
Yes, it appears to be a door.
I'm just gonna take the scalpel and just start like scraping away more.
Okay.
As soon as I see what he's doing, I'm doing the same. I have one hand with my phone, so I'm able to see what's happening more, and I'm just kind of trying to brush it away as best as I can with my bare hands. That's all I have.
It's another door.
Okay.
I'm gonna start kind of like stamping my foot along the ground. Is there anything there? That's
Nothing along the ground.
No inconsistencies in the ground, just the walls.
Just the walls.
All right.
The walls appear to be they have about 4 doors on each side.
Okay.
And I'm motioning to Aaron to help me get some of the stuff off.
Yep. I'll start without trying to damage the door, but more so the mud. I'm trying to rake off as much as I can.
With your hand, with your claw. I mean,
And I'm like waving a hand to Cyrus at all this.
You see he's watching. He's staying in the center of the room so that he has a vantage point at each opening, depending. But He's not making a motion towards any specific door.
Is there a handle on this door?
It's kind of the handle has been taken off, so there's the circle that you could put your hand in and pull.
I'm gonna flip the scalpel to like just the flat end, stick it in there, and just pull.
It's quite caked into the mud,
I will keep pulling
it's
until it
difficult
moves.
to pull. So you're just going to do it with this little scalpel and not with grabbing the door?
Just in case, just for now.
It's not budging.
All right. Fuck it, and dig my fingers in and pull.
Okay. Thomasina?
I just on a whim I go over to the couch. There's cushions on the couch.
Yes.
I'm just gonna take them off and see if there's like wrappers, change, keys, or anything in there that might give a clue as to what's down here.
There's some change, couple little circuit pieces,
More
just junk.
Okay.
Like someone was digging through the box while sitting on the couch.
Okay. All right.
I am working with him to free the other doors, and do we come to the same thing with the door handle? And
So you now have all uncovered 8 doors. 4 down one side, 4 down the other, all with the handles missing. It's just a circle.
And as he's grabbing for him, Anton, hold on, wait.
I've already pulled. I haven't opened it, but I pulled.
You've dislodged it from
Yeah.
the mud, but you haven't opened it yet.
Yeah.
Should we come up with a plan here? There's only 5 of us. There's 8 entrances.
These look like they have not been opened in some time because there's mud caked on them, right?
Yeah.
It looks like with all the recent rainfall we've had, like some of the mud has
Got it.
sunken a bit,
Okay.
but these doors, the mud that is dry forms the shape of the door, so they've been opened, it's just not too often.
Got it.
I think we need to know what we're dealing with. And I pull the door open.
Okay.
I do not pull one of our doors open. I wait and see what happens from his.
So yanking the door open, you see a man on the ground, chained to the wall, clearly human, barely alive, but he is still breathing.
Open the fucking doors. Open all of the fucking doors.
I don't ask questions.
Yeah.
I get my hand into one. I get Thomasina to get to the other one. And we just do our best.
And in each one, you find another man chained up, barely alive, and Melisende. In one of the rooms, you see Will, Kara's boyfriend.
I will descend upon him as quickly as I can. Check his pulse.
Slow, but it's there.
I will try to check his pupils.
He is out, seemingly comatose.
Okay. And I'm going to ask him to come over because I know he has more
Yep.
medical experience than I do. I know who this is. I don't have enough training. Can you see what you can do? We need to figure out what's the matter with these people. I mean,
Yeah, I'll just take a look. Is there anything I can do to know how I could help them right now?
As far as you can see, they all just look comatose, very malnourished, but stable.
what's the time that's elapsed since I got the information from my makeup artist now?
It's been a few days.
So, and it looks as though he has not had nourishment in that amount of time.
Barely.
Okay. Is there human droppings in these spaces as well? Are they basically just buckets or beds, or what else?
There are buckets, but no beds. They
are chained?
They are chained. They are laying on the muddy ground.
I step back, look around. It's all men in here?
It's all men.
Are they all about the same age?
Some are a bit older than others, but most seem to be in their mid-20s, a couple in their 40s-ish.
I want to examine the guy. I saw syringes. I want to see if are there puncture marks. Is this
All over.
Oliver?
I get underneath Will and scoop my legs up underneath him and get his head in my lap while he's doing what he's doing, and
Where are you?
do not have my
the
phone
door
on me
that I
at the
opened.
moment. It's in my back.
Turn his head away real quick.
Okay, so I...
And I'm gonna just try to break the chain around his neck, leg, whatever's holding him. And
It doesn't budge. It's a bit stronger than you are at the moment. And as you guys are fussing with all this, you hear a voice at the end of the room. It says, "Who's down here?"
I'm immediately going, like within the room or just somewhere inside the room?
You hear it coming from the other entrance.
Okay, I am going to immediately grab onto the wall next to me, and I'm going up.
Okay.
I'm going up and I'm going over, like up above the wall, like 6-7 feet up.
Okay.
Cyrus is just standing where he is, but his weapon is raised at that door.
Okay.
It's not open, is it?
No.
Yeah,
You're still unseen.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm going into.
But you guys have been making a lot of noise, so you.
Yes, they have.
Yes, there has been a lot of noise.
Yes, they have.
I'm going into the room that I opened, and I'm gonna close the door back. Just me and the guy who's behind me.
Okay.
Is there any particular feature, anything about the guy that I'm in the room with?
Just
Same.
yeah,
Okay.
just general guy.
All right.
I'm gonna give Mel just a quick point to me, then I'm gonna stay quiet. Point to you, thumbs up, you got this. And I'm gonna activate Silence of Death and just hold in the cell.
Okay.
So I am just there with this guy in my lap, and I'm also going to be quiet. I don't have any supernatural quietness, but I'm just going to be quiet.
I too am going to trigger Silence of Death.
Okay. And so
Super quiet.
the door is flung open.
I'm probably above the door at this point.
And on the other side, for those of you that can see the door, is a very young Nosferatu girl. Probably no more than 5 feet tall. She's got old Six Flags merchandise for clothes, dirty, a little bit ripped, a little stained, blood stains all over it. And she calls out into the room, "Who's in my house? Who's here? How'd you get here? I fucking know you're here." She's just frantic, looking about.
Well, she'll see any of us in the rooms. Does she enter enough to see the rooms open? Because my door has not been closed.
No, she's just opened the door and just is calling into the room. She's as cautious as you all are.
I'm above the door frame, just full Spider-Man.
Not the guy behind me. Comatose is the rest of them.
Yeah.
So not like heavy breathing or anything like that. Just
No, just very shallow breathing and looking. You can see lots of cuts and scars all over him.
okay. I'm gonna brace the door as much as I can. At this point, just whoever she is, I don't want her to get back in here either to me or this guy.
Okay.
I'm going to move kind of arcing a bit so that way if she steps in, I can be right
Be
at
out of the way. So she does step in, kind of looking around, and she sees that the doors have been exposed.
She's is she like in under me?
Yeah, she's under you.
I'm gonna look over at Cyrus, see if he happens to look, if he's looking up, if he's glancing up at me at all.
He's not. His eyes are on her.
Okay.
But he is not in any of your trajectory.
Okay. And I'm releasing from the wall and just dropping straight down on her.
So you release from the wall and you land on top of this 5 foot tall girl.
Yep, just pinned.
Completely pinning her to the ground. And she starts struggling and fighting.
Nope,
What do you want?
I'm wrist lock Sistema on her back.
What do you want? Why are you here?
You first.
No, you came into my house. I want answers.
Twist.
And she's fighting it.
I said I am using everything I've learned and just twisting her wrist up and back behind her back.
And so you're on top of her back?
Yeah, like if she's came in this way, I landed down.
With her free hand, you feel a sharp pain in your thigh.
All right.
And you see that she has taken a hypodermic needle into your leg, and she presses the plunger down.
With this hand, I'm going to slice my cheek. Like, and before anything bad happens to me, I'm pulling the blood off of me, and I'm just slapping it on her face and activating Scorpion's touch.
Okay.
While that's happening,
Yes.
and she's like fighting, I'm just gonna walk right up and I'm gonna press the barrel of the gun into her temple, and I'm just gonna quietly say in her ear, and quietly say, "I would stop moving if I were you. I assure you, you do not want to be shot with what's in my gun."
And she stops moving.
And she does. She freezes. And she just holds there. But her eyes are pained. They're filling with tears.
She can talk. She could move if she struggled, but she's gonna move.
Right now your hand is over her mouth.
No, I slapped it to put the blood into her mouth, and then I dragged it back so it goes in. I'm at 2 hunger, and whatever the hell's going on with me with this needle, but she could try to power through it to move, but she's gonna be moving at about the same speed as the people that are in these cages are.
Yeah. And her eyes are just filling with tears as she sits there, head kind of bent to the side.
Cyrus is gonna drop Unseen Presence, and is like kneeling beside her, like right in front of her. And I guess the way she's looking right up at him, and he's gonna just kind of lean down. "How long have you been here?"
Why do you want to know? Who are you? Why'd you come into my home?
I'm going to ask you one more time. I am asking the questions. If you do not answer them, you will not like what happens next. How long have you been down here?
She takes a few deep breaths. Says, 23 years.
How long have you been feeding on the men in these cages?
And in that moment, I had Will off of me once I was able to hear what was happening, that it was her home.
Yeah.
And I come out there and say, "What the fuck?" to her. I mean, what the fuck?
And there's a gun pointed at you. And he goes, "Shh. How long have you been feeding on the men in these cages?"
These? Maybe a few months on these, I guess.
How long have you been taking and feeding?
As long as I've lived here. You don't even know who they are, do you?
I do. I know who one of them is.
You don't know who these people are? You don't. You really don't.
Is your name Sarah?
Yes. It was, I guess.
I'm gonna roll off of her at this point. How am I doing?
The room is starting to go double for you. If you want, you can spend a willpower to push through the effects.
I think I'm alright. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm alright. Yeah.
I'll let you know if you aren't alright.
I'm pushed through the effects, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just rolled off her and I'm just gonna push back a bit from her. And just sit. Alright, Sarah. Your Primogen is worried about you.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Do you know what the fuck we are?
I'm gonna assume, since that one can do a disappearing act, that you're like me.
Close enough. Why don't you tell us who they are, and we'll go from there.
They're scum, and they're deserving everything they get.
Tell me more. Tell him, and I'll gesture to the one with the gun. More.
He says, "Look, what I'm doing here is what's right. I did it to the one who made me, and I'm gonna do it to everyone like him." And she's trying very hard not to meet Cyrus's gaze.
I look back at Will and see, what do I see? I'm assuming he's still not moving, right?
Yeah, no, he's out.
And have you re-emerged?
No, I'm gonna stay in the cell.
Okay. And I look to her. What do you mean they deserve it?
Don't you... Don't you... Yeah, you really don't know.
That's why we're here.
This place, this park, whatever it is, this is where they take people like me. And where we're not heard from again by men like these.
Before or after?
What do you mean?
Before or after you turned?
The one who made me took me. And I took care of him. But I didn't have anywhere to go. What am I supposed to do? When I look like this, and when I have this hunger? So I just decided to stay here.
What kind of evidence do you have? How do you know what they're doing? Have you seen them?
Because I've seen them do it. These men are regulars. And then I take my chance when I can.
Have you ever been spotted?
No,
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
23 years is a long time.
And she's still here. I'm gonna gesture for you to lower the gun, whether or not you listen to me.
This woman came about 5 years ago. She kind of looked like me. She said she liked what I was doing and that she would help me stay hidden.
Who is she?
Fuck if I know.
What does she look like?
Really fucked up. But like me.
Does she know what you did to the person who made you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold a hand up. How many piercings did she have?
A lot.
I'm just gonna lay all the way back on the ground. And just laugh.
I'm going to, I know she's laying, she's unable to move, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to kneel down by her, and I'm going to ask her very insistently, what did they do? Who did they do it to?
There's this set of trucks that come by every few months. There's a green one, and there's a red one with a missing hubcap. And then there's a kind of a rusted out paint truck. And every time, these guys are waiting in the parking lot with some new kid. And they go in those trucks, and then they don't come back.
I'm gonna go over to the guy that I'm in the cell with, and I'm just gonna put my hand over his mouth, and I'm gonna keep it there until he stops breathing.
Okay.
I don't see that because the door's closed. I'm gonna pull out the blue phone and just start going through the address book. We've got every Primogen in here as Dot in here, or anybody that's a representative for Dot.
Dot's number is not in your phone.
Is Dot's number in my phone?
No.
Do I have anything that looks like a Nosferatu contact in there? No?
Mm-mm.
So much for texting her.
Says, you don't get it. They keep getting away with it, so somebody has to do something. What I'm doing is good. What about you? Who's the last person you fed on? Were they a bad person or were they a good person that just didn't understand what was happening to them? How are you any better than me?
We're not. I'll sit back up. We're just more clued in.
What does that matter when people like this keep getting to walk free?
It matters because being more clued in means more resources. It means not risking yourself all by yourself. And it means doing this in a way that doesn't get you killed by human or by a misunderstanding one of us.
I've been fine this far.
And yet you almost had a bullet in your head and a knife in your back. Or worse.
How did you even know I was here?
It's a test.
What kind of fucking test?
That is a question I will ask later.
What are you gonna do with me?
Cyrus stands, walks, looks at you, Melisende, and are you still near the...
I'm still kneeling next to her.
Yeah.
I have
Oh,
not.
her. You didn't. Okay, I thought you
still.
said-
I'm kneeling right there next to her. I'm silent.
Okay.
I am not moving.
This one's Silence of Death up somewhere, and this one's in her closed quarter.
Aaron is in the cell, looking back between Will and Mel, and tries his hardest not to tear the guy's throat out, but doesn't.
Do you need to use a willpower to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm just gonna shed
Go
that
ahead
off.
and go ahead and mark a willpower to burn through, since that is against one of your tenants.
I'm going to. Can I get the guy off of the chains?
No, it would take a lot to break them.
Okay. I'm gonna go back out.
And she kind of tenses up at seeing yet another person in this room.
And I'm just gonna say, there's a vacancy in this one if you want help filling it.
I stand up with purpose. I do not stop the direction I'm moving. I head into Will's chamber, and I kneel on his chest, and I put my forearm into his face, and I put my other hand on top of it, and I do that without saying anything.
Just smother.
Yep.
Okay.
Sarah,
What?
obviously, the person that sent us here to find you knew what you are doing. So
Are
as
you
far
here
as
to
I
stop me?
as far as I can tell, you're in no trouble. But I'm thinking you might have to come back with us for a moment, and then you can come back here. Assuming that we don't torch the place and everybody inside.
I head to another cell. I'm on a mission, silent, heading to another cell.
Not even looking.
I'm also going to another one. If we're gonna turn out the lights, we might as well turn out the lights.
Cyrus stands there for a long moment, and you have been lost for so long, surviving. You are lucky, child. I should judge you. And perhaps I will. But today, how long does your toxin last?
The character needs to know, so
So me and
The one I put in
Thomasina are just cleaning house.
No, he's asking me.
Okay. And she finally notices you guys doing it, and she struggles a bit to protest and says, "No, stop! I can't if they're dead. Can't.
You can't.
How am I
what?
gonna eat?"
Yo.
You are going to come back with us, and we are going to make life easier on you.
Are you gonna kill me?
No.
Absolutely not.
If you take me away from here, then they're gonna keep coming back, and there won't be anyone to do anything about it.
Sarah, I get the feeling that once we take you to where we need to go, you will be allowed to come back here.
And how would you like some help doing what you do?
I would like that.
And to Cyrus, I say, we'll have to carry her out, but by the time we make it back, she should be fine.
Understood. Sarah,
What?
on this day you are reborn. Take this as a blessing, because if I come back here again, and you're not more careful, I will judge you, and I will end you.
Okay.
Their hearts are mine, as he moves to a cell.
And to Sarah, I'll say, but where we are bringing you is to give you the instruction to be more careful.
Are you taking me to the woman?
Yes.
She sent you, didn't she?
That, it seems, was the test.
Aaron is silently going to move in front of just one of the cells. And is not going to let anyone in.
I'm going to try to get past him.
I'm gonna go over to Anton and grab the scalpel.
No, you're not.
I'm going to go over to Anton and be disappointed and then go back over to Aaron anyway without the scalpel.
So I guess now we're both
Literally
face to face.
So
with
this... He's still a person.
I'm going to put my hand up, if I may, to Aaron and just say, how convinced are you that he's a person?
He's more of a person than we are. He breathes. He bleeds. He's done awful things, but we can't just snap our fingers and snuff it out. It can't be this easy.
And I will yell back from where I am. Leave him be. Because if she comes back here, she's going to need somebody.
Cyrus is walking towards one of the.
I had activated Daunt while she was talking to you. Not that I think it's going to do anything to you, but I'm still doing because I have nothing else to do. So
He's walking to one of the cells that they're already dead.
Yeah.
And he'll say, "These men have committed mortal crimes. They are not ours to judge." And he will, which either your door or
we're at the same door. He's standing in front of the last remaining
both
living
standing in front of
person's
me.
door.
Yeah.
when I say your door, I mean the one
one
that
I
you
had.
started
You
in.
came out.
Yeah.
Whichever one I don't sense breathing in. If there's only one person left, then there's one person left. But he's just gonna go and he's gonna pull out his knife and he's gonna cut out their heart.
Okay.
I'll smell that. I say, leave her at least one.
He is only going to remove the hearts of those that have already been killed.
Okay. So that is 7 hearts
Okay.
for you.
Otherwise, she's going to have to start from scratch again. She already has to.
This one, they're all out of it, but information, networking, there's a system of trucks that we have to now learn about. We can get something from a living corpse.
I'm still Daunt. I'm not listening. I can't hear you. I'm beyond reachable at this point.
That's a point. There is a network. There is a system. I have no idea how connected this one person is. And yes, she could use some roots in this place. I also don't like the idea of one person anyone would miss. So as soon as we figure out who this is, that's it.
Sarah, I'll just generally point back. How long has that one been here?
And she's gonna strain to look back and go, a month.
Where did you grab him?
Parking lot. That's where they all are.
And I'll go, don't move. I'll struggle up and say, you've already killed them all. If anybody's going to be missed, I'll just wide sweep the room. You've made them missed. Leave him. For her, for the rest of us. We're already far beyond mist.
I listen to that. Just barely. But am very visibly out of control-ish.
Yeah.
Do not take well to not being able to act.
Yeah.
And need to release steam somehow.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how to do that at this moment.
Destroying something in here would probably make you feel better.
Okay.
Harming one of the already deceased bodies that Cyrus has already harvested.
Okay.
He actually has a large plastic bag, like a rolled up like medical bag that seals, that he has put all of them in and rolled up.
There's still Will's body.
I'm just going to walk over calmly to Will's body. I'm just going to start ripping it from the hole where he had it and just tearing flesh.
And at this point, I'm going to drop heightened senses because there's been a lot of noises.
I am going to go over to Anton and I'm going to say, if we do not make good use of this, I'm not going to hesitate in making sure that this one doesn't take another breath.
Somebody's going to have to stop me, by the way, because I will claw through everything that he is before I stop.
Aaron, you do see her doing this.
I'll move into the cell with you, Mel, and try my best to pull you off. And if you have to, just point yourself at me.
You're stronger than I am, so you're able to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm still trying to reach for him and grab at him, and I'm snarling and still trying to get back to him. And
I'm just going to bellow, enough to you and to you. We've done our job. The rest is out of our hands. You two have done more than your fair share. We need to wrap this up.
Fine. I go over to Melisende and I'm
like drenched,
Right.
elbows deep in blood and viscera.
Yeah.
So, and shocked,
Yeah.
obviously, and
Yeah, you're starting to come down now.
angry but not ferocious. You know, having nowhere else to put it. It's all out now, so I'm
Yeah.
just a quivering mess.
I'm gonna just take like a handkerchief from out of my pocket and I'm just gonna hand it to her. It's not much, but just something for her to either kind of get a little cleaner.
Okay.
And I just do what I ring it, basically, because that's all I can do at this moment.
Yeah.
And so Sarah kind of struggles a bit. She says, "Can we go? Please."
Aaron, help her up, please.
I will. I'll keep an eye on that last cell, but I'll help Sarah up to her feet.
Okay.
I'm
And
going.
she's having to cling to you, but she barely weighs anything, so
Gotcha.
you're able to hold her up pretty well.
I'm going to drop the scalpel and just gesture my still cut open hand towards the way we came in.
I'll turn on the light from my phone and start walking out with her.
Okay.
I follow behind him and her, and I get as close to her. He would hear this too, and whisper to her that we will finish what you started. I promise.
She said, "I want to finish it. I want to finish it myself."
And I'm gonna come up from behind them and I'm gonna say, I'm pretty sure you're gonna find some really good company that wants to help.
And she just nods. And so you all head out?
You're the last one.
Yeah, until you walk by me.
Yeah.
Would there be an open bathroom anywhere?
Uh,
Unlocked enough to be able
yeah,
to
yeah,
enter?
yeah.
Okay, well
Yeah.
then I'm gonna duck in there before we head out, because limo and all.
Yeah, rinse
So,
off a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're a little wet, but you're able to rinse off.
Yeah, got most of the viscera off at this point. Yeah.
So Cyrus will like kind of walk alongside Anton as everyone else has like moved off. If any of these actions goes against the Masquerade, I will diablerize her.
And based on select things that Cyrus has said in the handful of times that he's interacted, Anton is going to respond in Arabic. Justice must be done. And keep walking.
Cyrus nods and then continues walking.
I'm going to just head over to the bathroom a little bit. I'm going to give Melisende your space, but I'm just going to like knock on there. Just ask anything I can do.
I am cleaner, but I am bent over the sink that is now still filled with blood. There's very little I can do to get it out at this point. Somebody's going to have a rude awakening in the morning.
Yes.
And not weeping, but basically in that same energy level. And I tell her, no, I will be doing it myself. And I straighten my jacket, wipe my hands, and I rejoin the group.
When she comes out, I tell her that I keep some spare basics for clothes in the limo. Things happen. And I hand her the card that I keep of my manicurist. If she really needs some help with the cuticles.
Up top, I'm going to jam the panel back into the carousel as best as I can. I don't have potence or anything, but I'm just going to kick it back into place so it looks as not obviously opened as possible.
It looks damaged, but with the status of the carousel, it doesn't look terribly out of place.
It looks damaged.
Yeah.
When he walks away, I'm going to take the stake out, and I'm just going to start literally just banging against the rest of it, just equalize some damage.
Okay.
Make the whole thing look shitty.
Okay.
Pocket it and keep walking.
All right.
And while the girls are in the restroom, Aaron is going to whisper over to Sarah, how wide did this ring go? Was this just Atlanta?
As far as I know, some of the girls looked like they weren't from Atlanta. I don't know. A lot of them I wasn't able to get to the girls, so I figured I'd kill the source.
Do you know anything about where they would have kept them, the girls?
No. I only know that this is the drop-off point.
Here. We'll go from there.
All right.
So we're still in the same group, right?
Yeah, you guys are kind of
We're
like
probably all grouped back
not
up.
together, but grouped up.
Yeah.
Okay. I will ask Aaron to speak privately at some point before we enter the vehicle. How close are we at this point to the vehicle?
You guys are getting pretty close. You're out the gate now.
I'm going to gesture to you to grab her. Is she able to walk at all at this point?
Weekly, probably.
Yeah,
She can kind of stumble.
Yeah,
and
kinda-
you can.
Out of character, this lasts for the remainder of this scene, so
Yeah.
she's going to be limping and not really being able to book it or anything.
she's very sluggish.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just kind of
So she'll
get her, my arm
lean up
like under
against
her
you.
waist because
Yeah.
she's tiny. And I'll just kind of assist her there.
The feeling is quite familiar to, just kids that you've helped out at basketball games, hoisted them up for a victory photo.
And I ask her, you've only been here this whole time. Have you ever done this anywhere else?
No. I was made like this here, and I never left.
Okay. Let's see if we can't find you a little something on your way home, just to get you back to where you need to be.
Okay.
I have Aaron privately at
Yeah.
this point, and I tell him, I need your assistance before we go to bed. That person, I knew that person, and he will be missed. So I need a little help coming up with a plausible criminal.
Was this... I'm sorry. Was this the person you asked me to look into?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't put hardly any effort into finding them. I just sniffed at the case file, and that was it. And maybe this would have been a shortcut. Maybe this wouldn't have led anywhere, but going forward, I'll make that effort. So yeah, we'll think through something plausible, realistic, and just like DC.
As soon as we enter the vehicle, I text my makeup artist and tell her that she needs to meet me at my home immediately.
Okay.
On my regular phone, I'm going to text Hex.
Mm-hmm.
Just a thumbs up emoji.
You get back a text of a frowny face and just the words, "I'm sorry."
And just for Storyteller, I'd like to do something once we drop Sarah off and do our thing.
I'm gonna.
So would I.
Yep.
We're gonna get to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask Philip to not exactly take his time, but keep an eye out on the way. For anyone that looks like they might be doing the wrong thing in the wrong place.
You're
Just
able
It is
to
Six
spot-
Flags Drive.
Yeah.
Exactly,
So,
yeah.
you know.
You're able to spot that fairly easily
so
for a small meal for her.
okay, and so I just have him slow down the limo a little bit, and I just kind of ruffle myself up, and I kind of open the door sloppily and go, "Hey, have you ever been in a limo before?"
And he says, "Oh, no, lady." And he kind of stumbles over to you.
And I just giggle wildly, like, "Come on, there's free drinks!"
And you're able to pull him in.
And I close the door and I say, "You're the free drink."
All right. Cyrus?
I don't... Or were you riding with me?
Yep.
Okay. I drop you off wherever you...
Well,
you dropped
well,
off.
this is after we drop after we bring Sarah back. But
Yes.
so I take it we brought Sarah back to Dot.
When you brought her to the 5-point station, Das was waiting to pick her up.
I drop you off there, and I take off.
Okay,
So you know.
it's good enough.
Yeah, so Das is just like, "Okay."
Good enough. All right. So
And Das accepts the girl.
okay.
And he doesn't really say anything.
And to Sarah, I'll just go. Believe it or not, it's about to get easier.
And she just kind of shrugs half-heartedly. And Das sort of ruffles her hair a bit.
I'll look to these three and go. I think we all have things we need to do. I'll see you later. And I'm gonna go. Marta's not running at this point, is it?
No, Marta doesn't kick back up until about 5 a.m.
All right. I'm going to just.
I'm gonna follow him really quick and just say, "I can always give you a ride."
If you wouldn't mind.
I'm still, no, we all met there, so
Yeah.
I get into my Prius with I would assume an anxious text message from my
Yeah.
makeup
She
artist.
just says, "Are you okay? What's up? Late night appearance? Do you need me?"
And I say, just meet me at the house.
And she texts back, "On my way."
And I assume we're just riding back, or you already you came in your car, right?
I came in my car,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I don't want to be alone right now. Can I just ride back with you to the Athenium?
I'm going to be reading a lot, but yeah.
That's fine.
Do you mind if I stay for a little while?
Sure.
All right.
So we'll go back to the Athenium. I'll let them in. I'm going to gesture them and go, make yourself at home. I'm going to walk over to my computer. And I'm going to put on some Dolly Parton.
Any particular song?
Here you come again.
I was hoping for 9 to 5.
Too happy. I'm going to go over to my bookshelf. And I took a gamble with this one, and it paid off for me. I'm going to take down any books that I salvaged from Elysium and the Camarilla from the Final Nights pertaining to any, all knowledge that we have on the existing clans, not just the Camarilla ones.
Okay.
And I'm going to be cross-referencing until it's time to go to bed.
Okay. Cyrus, were there any last things you wanted to do?
Yeah. So once I leave the MARTA station, I drive north, and I go to her house, and I see if she's home.
She is.
I will climb onto the roof of the house that I usually rest on. I will assemble my sniper rifle. I will look through it. I will line up her head in the scope. Oh, my finger will rest on the trigger. I'll hesitate. I'll take it off. I'll disassemble my rifle. And I will hop down, get back in my truck, and drive back to my haven.
Okay.
Where I will consume the hunger that I have with what I have gotten today.
Okay. And so that's where we're going to leave off for tonight. Before we say goodnight, though, we do have a bit of a serious message, if you guys will bear with us. The world of darkness is filled with monsters, but so is the real world. And human trafficking is a very real and big problem in Atlanta and around the world. So if you know someone who's in immediate danger, please call 911. But if you have reports of potential human trafficking, please call the National Human Trafficking Hotline toll-free at 1-888-373-7888. Or you can text them at 233-733. Or they also have chat support and anonymous tip submissions on their website at humantraffickinghotline.org/chat. And that information should be available on the screen for you right now. If we work together, hopefully we can end this. So thank you all, and have a good night.